Hello, I'm AJ, and today I'm drawing on tuxpaint because it's like the only free thing on the computer, and it has sound effects, which is fun. Oh, just make a. Okay, so first I added in like an ice cream shape, and I decided lilac would be fun to use, so it's lilac. And then I filled in the shape to be blue so that the base would be lilac. And of course, an ice cream cone is not complete without the waffle cone. So I used the line tool and drew a V shape. And I filled it in with gray so that the base could be a waffle cone color. I added diagonal lines for the waffle effect, and I drew them in the opposite direction like I was cross hatching. I filled that in and was dissatisfied with the line, so I drew that over again. Um, as you can see, I was a little bit confused as to what to add next. I decided to draw a bit more lines to texture the waffle cone. Then I went to the shapes tool and got the shapes tool, and I made some stars. I wanted them to look like rainbow sprinkles. Oh, I selected the colors of the rainbow and added teeny tiny stars on top of the ice cream cone. As such, it looked really pretty. Orange and pink and two shades of green. Later on, I added blue and red, even bright purple, just so that it would look like it had a lot of variety to it. So, and as you notice, the red sprinkles, one's atop and one's at the bottom, and that way I spacing them out makes it look more varied, which is the effect that I wanted with that. Next up, after I finished drawing all the sprinkles, I decided it needed a cherry on top. So I went to the shapes tool and selected a circle, changed it to from the corner, and then made a big red circle for the cherry. I'm very happy with the shading. I put the slightly foggier brush and drew a white line. With the stem, I was a little iffy about. It looked too thin and then it looked too thick. And here I'm just doing a little thing I learned from art class where I use the shade of the background to edit the lines. Once I was satisfied with the shape of the stem, I decided that it needed a bit of shading. I added purple with the soft brush that tuxpaint has to the lower left side in sort of a C shape, and also onto the stem. And then I added pink in the sort of upper central region just to give a little more varying to the highlight. Afterwards, the ice cream cone needed highlighting too. I put the pink on like the layers that ice cream has. Um, to highlight the cone, I thought that the yellow was a little much, so I made a custom color that was like a orangey yellow. And that I added with the soft brush again. It was important to me to keep the shape and texture of the ice cream cone while I was adding the highlighting. Hence, the upper part is rounded out and the lines follow the original lines that I drew. I made another custom color for the shading and decreased the saturation and added another orange hue. Again, I followed the lines I already drew, this one being slightly below the highlights. After all of the shading, it was losing its texture again, so I went back into the opposing direction and used the line tool and added the base shade. At first, I was drawing dashed lines, then I decided it wasn't enough of the base shade, so I added straight up lines uh, in that same direction. And I did that until I was satisfied with it. And I couldn't think of anything else to add at the time, so this is the completed ice cream cone. On to the next thing. Okay, so next up I decided to draw an eye. I started with like a gray background, and I also turned up the desktop audio in OBS so you could hear the sound effects better. I already have a lot of practice drawing eyes, so I already kind of knew what I was doing. I used like the second size of pencil and like a medium shade of gray and just sort of outlined like a O shape and it's like a spherical shape and so the lighter shade of gray wasn't showing up, so I used a light blue. It was similar enough. Ever since I've taken a theater class where the teacher said to highlight the corner of the eye, I highlight the corner of the eye when I draw eyes too. Funny how that works, huh? Yeah, and like I fixed up the shape a bit, just added where the iris would go up top and like put like a gray base where eventually I'd put shadowing and eyelashes. I just filled in the iris with the medium gray and then put highlight with the light gray, just like 3 lines. I hate drawing pupils, so I just did that. Yeah, and then I put like where the eyelashes go and I fanned them up into the corners and then down in the corners. And I put like the thicker setting and added like a shadow there. And like cornered it in the corner like a triangle. And then filled in more of the iris so I liked the shape better. Then I used that thicker line and I wanted to draw the part between the iris and the tear duct up top and I wasn't happy with the shape of that. So I went back in with the base light gray with the thick line and just slashed it. I made a new line from the tear duct to the eyelashes that was more concave. I liked that better. Another line to make it look intentional. I filled in that shape with the medium gray. I get nervous when I draw the underside of the eye, so I very carefully used a thin black line and then didn't mess with it and went on to the eyebrow. Notice that when I drew the eyebrow, I left original blue line intact. I drew it slightly above that and around it too. And I thought it would be fun when I added the freckles. Instead of using circles, I used stars instead. So I went in with the paint tool and used the little stars and just put them about where my own are. I didn't used to draw a shadow between the side of the eye and the top of the nose, but I saw someone did it once on an old app, Sony Sketch, and I liked how it looked, so I've been trying to do that ever since. The part where I added those gray lines, I was trying to figure out where I'll put the highlight that's just gonna go above that, and I put lime green every time. I tried to put pink where the highlighting would go, and I like to put more rounded features, but eventually I just put over lime green instead. Here I'm just adding a little more details to the nose. Just like, I don't overthink it much. You just put like a circle and like some lines. Another line on the other side just to balance it out. A little bit lower too. Then I filled in the lilac with pink instead, but only some of it so it would have depth. Added a little blue was much, so filled in with lilac. Then I filled in the base shade. It looked really good. Like instead of gray, I put a skin tone with saturation. Then I was just trying to figure out, I don't like to put straight up white in the cornea, I think it's called. Instead, I put like a yellow or a lime green or like a tan because I like it. And while I was painting in the white of the eye with lime green, I kind of liked where the gray placement was. So I put the skin shade there to give it more of a round shape. And see, round shape. And after I put like some color where the tear duct goes, but not too much of a contrast from the base, so I wouldn't have to worry about the shape too much. Just a couple of dots here and there. Then I really liked how the pink was looking, so for the under part of the eye and the side of the eye, I added more pink, and it looked really cute. Okay, so then I added green on the corner of the eye to give it more like vibrant, yay! And like some of the skin shade on the forehead highlight, so just to like make it look more blendy. Then what else did I do? Started to fill the gray part of the eyebrow, and then the entire thing was brown. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm not changing it. And then what else? Just a couple of like tweaks, and then yeah, some shadow under the eyebrow. Yeah, yeah, just some like doot 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 doot, and like some shadow on that side of the eye. And I think I filled it in with like lilac or something. And what else? Yeah, and then some highlight on that side of the eye. Super cute, isn't it? And like lines through the highlight. Just one line. Yep. And like, I think I was gonna put lime green there. Yeah, put lime green there. And then what highlights a bit, and then, yeah, some more lime green. I really like to use lime green as a highlighter, especially when I draw people. Don't matter what their skin tone is, they're getting lime green. That's how it works. Yeah. So much lime green. Just so much lime green. And then some lilac to like make the highlights stand out more actually. And I do like to have like really round cheeks, so that's what I do. And then I put like where the hair would go like a silhouette so that the face looks more face shaped. And like edited or tweaked that line a bit and decided that was enough. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Comment your favorite dessert. Bye!